quit my 6-figure job today. Woo! Hope I can figure it out. Super fun.
I'm Talia. I'm 30 years old and I'm a failure. I'm not 30. I'm actually 29, but I'm turning 30 in October and I do still actually think I'm a failure. I realize that I have been wasting my life and my time on earth doing things that I don't want to be doing because I'm too scared of doing the things that I do want to be doing. Or I don't even know. I don't know the reason. There's so many reasons. There's like familial pressure and societal pressure and cost of living and whatever the fuck else. But I don't want to live that way anymore. So I'm doing this. Whatever this is, I'm going to start posting. I'm just going to start posting what I'm up to, the things that I'm doing to try to shift out of this because I kind of feel desperate and this might be the only way. So, I mean, you can follow, you cannot follow. I'll still be posting. I'll still be trying. See you soon.
So I decided to go on her TikTok page, and I'm thinking like, oh, she's got 100,000 followers, or a lot of thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of followers. And let's talk about the reality of the situation. This is her TikTok account right here, guys. And not that she's not doing great, guys, because 8,000 followers and we're going to round up. 8,000 followers is a lot. Even as we scroll up through the videos, she has a good bit of video. I mean, she's got 6 and 8 videos that she got. I mean, that's a good ratio. But let's talk about the reality of the situation, guys. We have to kill this culture right now. We have to kill this culture right now. You have Americans literally out here going out and quitting their jobs to become a content creator. Like, I don't get it. Everybody wants to be a content creator. You've got Americans quitting their jobs. Let's put content creation aside. They're quitting their jobs without a backup plan in the worst economy we've ever seen in a long, long time right now, especially the job market. We're not even talking about the job market. We're talking about just the economy as it long. Like, I don't understand. Let's kill this culture right now because let's talk about it. The reality situation is everybody can't be a content creator. Everybody can't, because this is the reality that most people are facing. They're going on Instagram, they're going on TikTok, they're going on YouTube and seeing all these lifestyle videos. They're seeing people living this lavish, beautiful life. They're driving the Lamborghinis and they're driving these, nice cars and having these fancy clothes and out to eat every single day, making them feel like, oh, I'm behind in life. And reality is, you're not behind. These people do this for a living. You don't know what their bank account looks like. You don't know how much money they got in their account. They're doing this for content. So guess what? They have to reinvest into their content. They have to make it look like we're living this nice life just so the money continues to flow in. That's just how the game works. But let's talk about these people who are just quitting, not even trying to do content. They're quitting because they don't even know. They hate their job. That's why they're quitting. They hate their job. And they're just like, oh, I just don't want to do it. And I got more videos in here. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. It's going to blow your mind. But like, seriously, this is the state that we're in right now. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to go out here and do the job. I just made a video about the construction workers getting laid off. Oh my God. And I'm going to say, I'm going to be the one to say it. Just because you don't like your job doesn't mean that you don't have to do it. Let's talk about it. You still have to make money, right? You still have rent. You still got a car payment. You still have to eat. Because guess what? But hey, listen, on the flip side, there's no free handouts. That's the truth. This is when I say there is no free handouts. When you have people who are able-bodied, who can actually work, and I'm not specifically talking about her. Guys, let's separate it too. I'm not talking about her. I'm just saying in general. When you have a person who is able-bodied that can work, of course, they're not getting, food stamps or whatever. Like, unless they have a job, they're working super hard and they just don't make enough. I'm talking about the people who are quitting their jobs, not choosing not to work and staying on food stamps. That's what I'm talking about, guys, when we talk about the Medicaid cuts and the food stamps. But hey, that's neither here nor there. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy to me. Everybody can't be a content creator. There's even a new movement talking about my free life or my next career or something. It's so weird. Like, it's so crazy to me that people are just up and leaving their jobs. And if this culture continues to spread, what would a country look like within the next few years? Now, listen, I understand how it feels to be at a job and you hate it. You do it every single day. Trust me, I understand what it feels like to be in a job and you hate it, but you got to go the next day. Look for your next role. Look for the next role you're gonna go into. I know the job market sucks, but don't quit. Especially if you have a family, do not quit. Keep going because it's not green on the other side. I guarantee you. I'm gonna be following her for the next couple months just to see what life looks like. Hopefully she can figure it out. Hopefully she doesn't fail. Like I genuinely don't want her to fail. Like I hope she makes it happen. But on the flip side, it's not green on the other side. It's not. That's the reality of the situation. I've seen it over and over and over again.
Y'all ever just look at y'all coworker at work and be like, this place just hired any fucking body?
Is it just me, or is life just not the same as it used to be? Nothing is the same anymore. Literally, everything about reality today feels so different than what it was like 5 years ago. And I know we all can blame it on COVID, but it feels like we literally shifted into a different dimension. I feel like connecting with people is so weird now. Relationships are literally so stupid. They're just so stupid now. Isolation has become so prominent. Loneliness is louder than ever. Struggles have become more, in every facet, financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. And it's so scary because I always wonder what the world is going to be like in 10 years from now. Like, if this is the way society's operating now, what's going to happen later? AI is like literally taking over. People only connect through social media. Nobody really has genuine conversations anymore. Everything is so plastic. Everything feels so fake. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm sitting here just doing some work on my laptop, and I just have so many moments where I just say to myself, things just don't feel the same anymore. And I'm so curious if any of you feel the same way.
You do not need to love your job. You do not need to find fulfillment in your job. You do not need to be passionate about your job. A job is a job is a job at the end of the day.
I think I finally figured out about myself, I am just not a job person. Like, the idea of reporting somewhere every single day and someone owning 8 hours of my day, like, it just simply doesn't work for me. It just doesn't.
No, I need help brainstorming ways to get out of corporate America ASAP. I'm trying to figure out like something that's a low mental load, because corporate America actually is fucking up my mental health. It's actually driving me crazy. I know I'm not a crazy person, but being in these spaces and talking to these people and thinking this shit is serious is driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy because I keep taking a step back being like, we doing all this for what? I just need to figure out how I can maintain steady income, pay my bills, and not work in corporate. I think I'm gonna have to get like a couple part-time jobs. It's so weird because I have a bachelor's degree and I would love to go back and get my master's for like screenwriting or something with like TV and film, but like, where's the money in that? Anyway, I need something now that's simple, stable, not too mentally taxing.
If someone asked me what is the best thing I did for myself and my mental health, it would be take a sabbatical. Some people call it unemployed. Some people call it taking an adult gap year. But take a break from working. It'll change your life forever. I quit my job June of 2022, and I just started working January of this year. And when I tell you, everyone needs a break. Y'all have to understand, we have been doing this for a very, very long time. To pull back, your body is going to go through so much. You can do whatever you want with your sabbatical. The only thing I wanted to do really was rest. I did do a little bit of traveling. I spent a lot of time with family and friends, spent a lot of time with my son, just being home all the time. It was such a nice little break. Currently, I'm already making my plan for my sabbatical for 2027. So I'll tell you what's the secret to saving up the FU money to finally quit your job. Number one, I feel like becoming debt-free helped me. I was debt-free the first time. I'm going to be debt-free the second time thanks to bankruptcy. You can't pay off debt. It's not a big deal, but I will say pay up some of your bills. I paid up my phone bill for 2 years. I paid up my car insurance for 6 months. And last but not least, you're going to have to be on a strict budget now so you don't have to be on a strict budget later. I wasn't playing. Don't overspend. You might have to miss out on some stuff, but that's okay. You got a bigger goal. And
So she wasn't working for almost 3 years now. Like that is crazy. Everybody's unable. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm not gonna say whatever her situation because I don't know her situation. But at the same time, to have money to stretch for 2 years, unless you got a husband or a boyfriend or whatever case it, or some side hustles or anything like that. If your main source of income is your 9 to 5. Most people can't do it. That's the reality. Maybe she moved in with her parents or she got roommates or something like that. Her life. She's even said she had a kid. Like, everybody's unable. Do not take that advice. That's probably the the worst advice you can ever accept. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it's the worst advice you can ever say. Yes, take a break, take some vacations, right? I do think everybody should have a break. I'm not saying take 6 months. I'm not even saying take a full year. Take a month off. You know, if you can, if it's possible, take a month off, especially if you're moving jobs, right? Take a break. Everybody needs a mental break when you're talking about working these 9 to 5s. That's the reality situation. You do. You take a break. She took 2 years off. 2.5 years at that. That is crazy. I think it's even 3. Let me do the math. Somebody fact check me in the comment section below. That's crazy. That's neither here nor there. That's crazy. That's probably the worst I've ever seen. But maybe she's got an explanation for it or something. I'm not gonna beat her up too much, but that's the worst advice I've ever seen. And I get it. A lot of these videos were, women, and they may have, a husband that probably works a lot, and not trying to, oh, women can't work or anything like that. But in actuality, like, my wife doesn't work at all. Like, that's how a lot of the households are set up. The man normally works a lot of hours and the woman takes care of kids. Sometimes, depends on the situation. But let's hear from the men's perspective, because men, most of the time they just figure it out. They just work and continue to work just because they have to support and provide for their family. Let's check this out.
Bro, I hate the way living in society feels now, man. It just feels like we all walking on eggshells. 90% of us is all one emergency away from homelessness, bro. This is, like, I don't understand it, and it's not normal, bro. And I know for a fact I'm not the only person that feels like this, bro. Everybody feel like they over the edge. Everybody overstimulated. Everybody just want to go to work, go home. We not socializing no more. Like, connections aren't genuine. If it ain't about money, it ain't real. It don't feel real. Like, what's up, man? This is... something gotta give, bro.
Hey, listen, that's from the men's perspective. And listen, at the end of the day, this is what we are facing right now in the country. And it's unfortunate that so many people have built this, money is everything. If you're not on vacation every single month, every single week, you're not living life. Or if you're working a 9 to 5, you are failing at life in some form or fashion. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Listen, I'm at the point now where you have to calculate all of your expenses across the board, okay? Calculate everything across the board and understand what does it take for you to maintain. If you grow, that's even greater. But if you can maintain and live comfortably, now I know the cost of living is crazy. Everything is very expensive, but calculate that number. Sit back and say, hey, my rent is this amount. My car payment, if you have one, is this amount. It takes this amount to get gas, food, and whatever the case is. If that number is $3,000 a month, or $2,500 a month, or $4,000 a month, or even if it's $10,000 a month, calculate that number and just don't go above that. That's how. Listen, that's how I say every single month. I'm looking back at my expenses. I'm saying, what do I need to make? What's the lowest I can make to where I can live comfortably? Like, that's the reality of the situation, because this is where you're at right now. The more complicated roles you get within corporate America, the higher you go, the higher you climb the ladder, that's the more stressful the jobs, because that's the more you start to hate your job. Or if you're working, other jobs and you're getting beat up by your managers or whatever the case is, that's the reality. So you want to be right there within the middle. You don't want to be at the bottom, but you also don't want to be the top. You want to be right there in the middle. That's the goal. That's where you want to be. But hey, every job isn't the same. Everybody's situation is the same. But this is the reality that so many Americans are facing. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next video. We out. Let's go.